She has many masks.
Hmm.
Trust me, I know her better.
Yes, I understand. Yeah, I
I know
know.
her better. I've had 44 years of experience with her.
Mm-hmm.
She wears many masks, and she wears them very well.
Hmm.
What she says in one room is different from what she says in the next room.
Oh.
I have 44 years of experience of this. Yeah.
I believe you very much.
When
Mm-hmm.
when you tell people what they want to hear,
Mm-hmm.
you are not yourself.
Mm-hmm.
It's very important. When you tell people what they want to hear,
Mm-hmm.
you are not yourself.
Mm-hmm.
For example,
Mm-hmm.
if I ask you, do you like Michael Jackson? He's got some good
Oh.
songs, right? Everybody likes a little bit of Michael Jackson.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Mm-hmm.
there's
Mm-hmm.
maybe the song Bad or The Way
Mm-hmm.
You Make Me Feel. And, you know, he was a good dancer as well as a good
Mm-hmm.
singer. And
Mm-hmm.
he played pop music on the radio.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
But when I learn that you like something, and I tell you that I also like it,
Mm. Yes. Mm-hmm. Yes, I understand.
yeah, okay, that's called manipulation. That's called manipulation, right? That's a
Mm-hmm.
game, right?
Mm-hmm.
When you tell people when you tell people what you think they want to hear, you are not yourself.
Mm-hmm.
You are not yourself. It's called a mirror game. A
Mm-hmm.
mirror game
Carlo.
where
Mm-hmm.
where I become a mirror, and
Mm-hmm.
when you look at me,
Mm-hmm.
you see yourself.
Mm-hmm.
I become the mirror. In the conversation, I become the mirror. And when you look at me,
Mm-hmm.
you see yourself. And you like yourself, right? And yeah, yeah. And because you like yourself, you like me. That's very deep psychology. That's very deep psychology. In all communication, we sell something. In all communication, we sell something. Sometimes it is something important. Sometimes it's something not important. Sometimes we sell it for a business. Sometimes we sell it for ourselves. But in all communication, we sell something. And that is why not all communication is authentic. Not all communication is authentic. So we have to be careful, because in different when people in different rooms say different things,
Okay.
we have to be careful. And the mirror game is a key component of narcissism.
Oh. Yes.
Now, do you want level 2? I can give you level 2. Level 2, okay? Level 2 is understanding. Once you have made your decision, to like or not like something, you can't go back. Once you have made your decision psychologically to like or not like something, you can't go back. Remember the first time that you tasted your favorite ice cream. It was always your favorite after that. Once we have made that decision, we can't go back. It's like getting married, right? Once we make the decision, we can't go back. So psychologically, once you decide to like or not like something, your brain fixes like concrete. It fixes like concrete. And you can't pull it apart. You can't reshape it. You can't change it. And that is level 2 of narcissistic manipulation. That's level 2. Level 1 is I am your mirror. Level 2 is you can't go back. And that means, because that plays into human ego. That plays into human ego, the egotistical ego. The human ego, and we all have ego. We all of us have ego. The human ego is the belief that we are right. The human ego is I believe that I am right. That's the human ego. And your ego stops you going back, right? So the narcissist creates a mirror, understands that you can't go back, and then traps you inside. They trap you inside. And you are there forever. I'm serious about this. You are there forever. Because to change anything, you must destroy your own ego. And that's not possible. To change anything, you must destroy your own ego. And that's not possible. It's very powerful. And this is how a lot of human relationships work. This is how a lot of human relationships work, because not everybody is their real self. Not everybody is their real self. People wear masks. People wear masks. And it's, I can see from your facial expressions that I'm right, because I can see you fighting with yourself. I can see you fighting with yourself because of these 3 stages. Stage 1, the mirror. Stage 2, the can't go back trap. And stage 3 is just nothing changes. Because remember our previous conversation. Learning is growth, and intelligence is growing to learn more. And when we know more, we face the difficult question of, can we change our belief? Can we? How many people who support Dukla football team change and support Bratislava? Nobody. 0. Nobody changes their football team.
What?
Okay, if you are a fan of Banska Bystrica football team, you understand you never change.
Yes.
Is the light coming on yet? Okay, you never change. Why do you never change? Because of the ego trap. Because to change, you have to say, I was wrong. And your ego, your ego part of your personality can't do that. You can do it, but your ego can't.
Mm-hmm.
You can do it, but your ego can't do that, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you grow up liking a music group, I don't know, Dire Straits or AC/DC, you like them your whole life, right? It stays with you forever.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't change.
Yes.
It doesn't change. It's the same thing.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Same principle. Right? If you like a certain sport when you're young, you usually like it when you're older as well. Maybe you can't play it, but you still watch it. Right? And this trap is really, really, really powerful. And in my experience, 80% of human relationships exist in this conflicting dynamic of narcissistic ego struggle, where everybody, myself included, has problems with their ego that stop them going forward. And big examples are in politics, right? You see the big examples in politics, but these are the extreme examples. These are the extreme examples because there's a little bit in all of us. There's a little bit of the politician in all of us. That type of character. But we can learn to work with it and control it, but we have to understand about authentic relationships. There was a British, here's a little story. Finish with this little story. Okay. There was a British rock band called Thunder, and they had a music album called Behind Closed Doors. Behind Closed Doors. Yeah. And there was an interview with the singer. And the question was, why did you call your album Behind Closed Doors? And he said, because you never know what is behind closed doors.
Yes.
You can think you know, but you never know for sure. You never know for sure. So there are these relationships that we have to be careful with. And how do I know about this? I know about this because I found this in myself. I found this in myself. And then I said, where did this come from? And then I found where it came from. I found myself doing this. And I thought, this is interesting. Where did I learn how to do this? Where did I learn this? And then I found exactly where I learned how to do this. It's very interesting. It's very interesting because it's very interesting because the narcissist problem is a big problem for society. Because 80% of relationships have problems with narcissism and ego and human ego. 80% of relationships have problems with that. You know, if I have a problem with my partner, I know that a big part of that problem is me. I know that a big part of that problem is me. And that's the first step on a very, very, very long road. Because knowing the problem is different from solving the problem. You know that from your work. You know what the problem is, but you can't do anything about it. Right?
Yes.
So knowing the problem is very different from solving the problem. Knowing the problem helps, but it's just the first step of a very, very, very long road.
Yes.
And so I am now an expert in seeing what I was in other people. Because I know what to look for. Just like you in your job, you know when you look at when you examine the scans, you know exactly what to look for. In my human relationships with other people, I scan their character, and I know exactly what to look for in their character, and I know to wait. I know to wait and wait and wait, and I can see when the mask is on and the mask is off. I can see that. And it's difficult because it's not visible.
Yes.
It's not visible. It's behind the closed door.
Yes.
It's not visible. To see it, you have to look into a person's mind. You have to look into a person's mind. And I'm still learning about the whole thing. I'm still learning about it. Because there's a lot that I don't see. Still, it's a process. It's a process. So, it's very, very interesting. And you know what it comes down to? The most important thing is we spend our lives with people, but how close do we get, really? How close do we get? How close do we get? Do we understand everything? Do we know everything? Do we feel everything? How close do we really? It's really difficult. It's really difficult to get really close to people. It's really difficult, and this is, it's one of the challenges of life. Dealing with human relations. How close do we really get? Yeah, I was. People die, and then after they die, these stories come out about them, and people are like, "Oh my God, I never knew."
Yes.
Right? Like people lived with people their whole life, and they didn't know really important things. Like people who take drugs, right? People who take drugs, they can mask it from other people completely. Completely. Like even in marriage. There are many, many examples of husband and wife takes drugs or husband takes drugs, and the partner doesn't know. Doesn't know ever. And they live together.
Yes.
And they're married, right?
Yes.
So, getting close to people is really difficult. It's very difficult. So it is a constant challenge and a very interesting path and process to experience, and it's endless. It's just endless. That's why I can talk about it, because it's just endless. Like learning is just endless. It's just